Hey guys, Dave TC coming to you with another video. It's going to be my OP05 Rebecca deck list. I believe Rebecca is one of the best decks in OP05, and I've won 2 anniversary tournaments, allowing me to get the stamp Luffy ×2. Just showing you that Rebecca is definitely a contender in this meta. What I'm going to do is talk about my deck list, talk about the cards that changed and why I changed it to, with ratios and the new cards in OP05. And then towards the end of the video, I'll talk about matchups and metas, on why Rebecca is so good and how she stands up against the normal OP05 meta that everybody thinks about. So let's go ahead and get to the video. Rebecca is a black and blue 5-life leader that cannot attack. But her effect is if you have 6 cards or less in hand, you're able to rest 1 Dawn, reveal top 2, and pick a Dressrosa card. We're going to go ahead and start with the stadium. If you guys know my OP04 Rebecca deck list, I went from 3 down to 2 just because I believe you don't need 3 stage cards in this meta. I'm trying 2 out right now for sure, and it's been doing well. I might bump it back up to 3, but we'll see. From there, we have 4 1-drop Rebecca Searcher. She's just like the leader. With 1 cost, you're able to reveal top 3 and pick a Dressrosa card and put it in your hand, and the other 2 goes to trash, building your trash. From there, we pick one of the newer cards in OP05 named Mansherry. Mansherry is a very good card, allowing you to rest 1 Dawn and rest her to put 2 cards back to the bottom of your deck, preventing you from decking out, and grabbing a 3/5 black character card and put it to your hand, allowing you to recycle some cards in the late game. Now, why do I only play 1? She's a Dressrosa type, so you're able to search her with the 1-drop and the Rebecca leader, and she's mainly used, in my opinion, for late game. I don't like to use her early, so just having 1 is enough. I can search her most of the time, unless she's in life. And I think running 2 is just overkill, and I'd rather have other cards. But if you want to try 2, by all means, I just think 1 is enough in the Rebecca deck list. And other black deck lists, you might want to run more. The next OP05 card I put in here is the One-Legged Soldier. This card is definitely one of the MVPs in this deck list. He is a 2K counter Dressrosa type character, so you're able to search this 2K counter. But I use him a lot because, especially against a yellow matchup, you're able to play him for 2, and he has an activate main that you can just trash him, building your trash, give a character -3 costs. And against the yellow, they usually won't touch him unless they want to really thunderbolt them, allowing you to have something in range once they play their big boys, able to pop them with either Koby, Bastardo, etc., etc. Such a good card. I really like this new 2K counter we got. As you can see, I removed Gyatz for the One-Legged Soldier just because obviously I value the One-Legged Soldier much more than Gyatz. From there, we play 2 Idios. Here, if you want 2K counters, you can remove the Idios for the Gyatz, because the Gyatz is a Dressrosa 2K counter. But I think Idios still has its place because of the now and the Karakuri still being out there. Very good chump blockers. Not good against Sakazuki, unfortunately. But again, like I said, against the yellow players and other decks, it's still worthy. So I'll definitely keep him at least at 2. I was trying to put him at 3, but unfortunately I could not find room. From there, we're going to go ahead and pick another blocker, which is Bartolomeo. He's a Dressrosa type character, able to be searched, and he's a 2K counter blocker. So nothing much to say, must run 4. From there, I played 2 Kyroses. So I was very hyped with this card. As you guys know, in OP04, I went from 4 down to 3, now down to 2. Unfortunately, Kyros is not the sticky boy as he used to be, just because he's a 3 cost. So with Sakazuki, he's able to attack, put him down 2 costs, putting him in range for that new blue card that's able to bottom deck a 2 cost or less. So that's why Kyros is less effective, because of Sakazuki. But Kyros does have effect to pop a 1 cost or less. So he's still that viable due to that. But because he's not a counter and is very vulnerable against Sakazuki, I brought him down to 2. I think 2 is plenty. And he's a 3 cost, just like Bartolomeo, which is very important to the combo potential of this deck that I'll explain once I get there. Same thing with the 3 costs. I run the new Hina. Hina is a 3 cost, 3 of in this deck list. This is why the deck list has changed a lot, as you guys already know if you guys seen our Sakazuki video of the combo I'm talking about. On play, she gets to -4 costs. What you want her to be in the trash for the combo potential. The good thing she is a Navy, so with the Rebecca leader and the 1-drop, if you reveal her, she'll be in the trash. I do like to have her in hand sometimes too. For 3 costs, you get to -4, which in this deck is going to be very, very high potential to combo. Because, for example, if you have 6 Dawn, you're able to play Hina and play Kyros and pop up 5 costs. Very good combos here for just 6 Dawn. Next, we play 1 Koby, going with the 3 costs, very important here. On play, you get to pop a 3 cost or below. This is funny because in the other video, I had somebody ask me why I don't use the Koby or what I thought about Koby. Koby, again, was very strong in OP04 as well, but I chose the 5-drop Garp just because I had a better stat line and yada, yada, yada. But in this, because of the stat line of being a 3 cost, it goes with the combo of the Rebecca deck. And this is why I believe Koby is, at least as a 1 of, gives more potential to do other plays in this deck. For example, even if you have the Hina in hand, same combo, instead of for 6 Dawn, you can play Hina -4 and then play Koby, you can pop a 7 cost. From there, we play 4 Orlumbuses. Orlumbuses, as you guys know, is like the Kuzan of this deck, but much better. The reason I say better is because he's an active main now when attacking, so you're able to kill one of your Dressrosa type characters, including himself, but you don't want to kill himself unless you have to. Trash top, mill top 2 from your deck, allowing you to build your trash, and then you get to -4 costs. If it survives, you don't have to swing with him. You can just keep doing its effect, allowing you for your Kobys to pop 7 costs, combo with Hina to -8 costs, and then pop a 9 costs or even a 10 costs with Koby, and then combo with Kyros to pop a 5 costs. Now, the newest card for combo potential is Rebecca. As you guys, if you guys see the Sakazuki deck list, you guys know what she does. The good thing about Rebecca is she is the Dressrosa, so you're able to search her with the Rebecca, which is the main thing here. This card is searchable in this Rebecca deck list, not like in the Sakazuki where you have to hopefully draw this card. Not only that she's a Dressrosa 4 cost with a 1k counter, she is a blocker, but with the on-play effect of on-play, look at your trash and grab a 3 cost to a 7 cost black card, allowing you to hit any of these cards that we named. And then the second effect is then look at your hand and then play a 3 cost or below rested to the field, allowing the on-play effect to activate. And this is why I say this 3 costs is such an important number due to this Rebecca. So for example, if you're at 8 Dawn, you can play Rebecca for 4, grab, let's say you have to reduce something by 4, you grab the Hina, then the second effect happens, you can play the Hina, you -4, now you're in range for Bastardo to kill a 10 cost, you're in range for Kyros to kill a 5 cost, you're in range for anything to start popping depending what you need. If you need to pop somebody because you already have Orlumbus out, you can grab the Kyros from trash, put in your hand, and pop something. You can even grab Koby. So depending on the situation, you can grab anything here. And also, if this card's already in your hand and you don't need to grab a Hina, but you need to play the Hina, you can grab an Orlumbus back to hand and then play the extra Hina that you have in hand as the second part effect. Just this card actually gives you a wide range of potential of what you need. And not only that you have Orlumbus to -4, now you have a card that can play a blocker out and the -4 without the Orlumbus. So it gives you more potential to minus cost more efficiently than an OP04 list. And this is why the deck had to change. And to the better. This is why I believe the Rebecca deck list is much, much better. So definitely a 4-off. Very good combo. I think this is going to be a staple in the black decks from now on. So definitely get your playset while you can, guys. From there, we're going to, of course, play the Lucci. This is where the Saka Lucci happens. I only played 2. I was trying him higher numbers, but the Lucci doesn't do as much as it does in the Sakazuki. The Sakazuki does have an advantage. Not saying that it's a bad deck because I keep comparing it to Sakazuki because we're both black and blue leaders. But the Sakazuki gets to -1 cost with attacking. So he's able to attack, is able to minus while building pressure, allowing the Rob Lucci to already pop a 3 cost or and a 2 cost depending on what he wants to do on play without any other help. And then they run the Ice Age and etc. So this Lucci does more value in that deck list, while here we have to do more of a setup. But Lucci's still good, and that's the reason I still leave him at 2, because the potential of popping 2 cards, and if you have 2 Orlumbuses out, or 1 Orlumbus, and you can play a Hina and then a Lucci, like you're able to still do these high value combos. But you're gonna find that in this deck list, this Lucci becomes more of as a tech card, more as a back burner, because you have way better efficient plays to control their opponent's board and still build value, especially with the Rebecca's effect to keep cards in hand and go to 7 cards in hand most of the time. So that's the reason I dropped the Lucci down to 2. 2 just because you still want to see one. Even if it goes to trash, you have Mansherry, you have the Rebecca to still put it back in hand and play a 3 cost from hand or less. So you have many ways to grab this Lucci when it does go to trash, which is very good in this deck because of the way you have with the Rebecca and the Mansherry. So that's why 2 of is fine. If you want to try 3, go ahead, but you're going to see that I think 2 is going to be a good number, unless like Red Green Law and Zoro comes back in the meta. Then you might have to bump him up. From there, we're going to go ahead and play 4 Sabo still. Like I said, Sabo is the MVP against yellow, so you still have to run 4. Lets you draw 2, discard 2, so if you have too many Hinas in hand or too many stage cards in hand, you're able to drop them in the trash. It's a 6k blocker, and then it protects your whole board for a full turn. Definitely a very strong card. From there, we played 3 Gear 4 Luffys. As you guys know, I used to run 4 because of the red-purple law. But in this meta, I think 3 is plenty. Luffy is one of the MVPs in the games with the stage card out. He has rush to attack any character, active or not. And then you can restand them depending on your trash. Because we have Lucci, Mansherry, the trash doesn't stay abundant as it used to, but still has a pretty good amount. So you don't need too many Luffys in the deck anymore. And then you have so much good control that the Luffy just adds to control, but not the main way to control win the game anymore. The good thing about Luffy is with the now, when they run the Russian now, the Luffy does mitigate the effect, allowing the 7 cost now not to use it. So you're able to pop that 7 cost now. So sometimes I just drop the Luffy just to anticipate that now. And then that just gets rid of a annoying card that's a strong hitter just with that, with Luffy being out in the field. So it's a little gimmick, a little tech card, which is funny because he is one of the main cards in the deck. So you have a tech card for a now without meaning to, if that makes sense. So definitely want to run 3. If you want to try 4, go ahead, but I think 3 is enough. Definitely love this art, so you gotta get the altar, guys. From there, we run 2 10-drop Kuzans. Kuzan's, again, very strong as yellow. Once he's out, you have a pretty good amount of life to set up, you're pretty much good to go. Against most deck, this 10-drop Kuzan is going to help you win the games. I think the only deck that it's kind of meaningless right now is going against the purple Luffy, just because they go wide very fast. So by the time you get to a 10-drop, sometimes you don't want to play them. So against other than that, the 10-drop just is very viable. From there, we're gonna go ahead and run 4 Bastardos. I used to run 3 in my OP04, but now, like I mentioned earlier, there's just many ways that you can hit combos with Hina or Orlumbus much easier than OP04, allowing the Bastardo to become way more valuable. Because in the late, and not even the late game, but in the middle game, you're gonna have 14 cards in trash, allowing this to be the 15 card, allowing you to pop a 6 cost, and then when you combo with Rebecca, blocker to combo with Hina, or even just Orlumbus, you're able to pop anything on the field, giving more value to Bastardo, and that's why I believe you should run 4. You can try 3, but I think 4 is gonna be the good number, just because of the combo potential of the deck. From there, we run 2 3 swords. I think 3 swords, it's more valuable in this meta just because of the Magellans and the purple Luffy, as well as you want to use it early when the purple Luffy is going, so they don't go too wide right away. So you either want to see Bastardo or 3 swords just to control against the purple Luffy. Before, I used to have this thing where I was thinking, should I run 3 Red Rocs or 2 Red Rocs and want 3 swords? In this OP05, I don't think there's any debate. I believe the 2 3 swords or up to 3 3 swords is the way to go, just because of the purple Luffy. Again, this card's still very good against Parrot Sparrow. Still very good against any early 5 drops that the opponent can play. So still very viable. Not saying that you can't do 3 Red Rocs instead. That's still an option. I just think the 3 swords just have more value in this meta from what I've noticed. Now the last card, it is a tech card, ones that you might not have seen. It's a waste of human life with Koby crying. So as you guys can see, I removed the Idios, and I thought Whitebeard is still going to be one of the top meta decks in this in OP05. I've only played against 2 Whitebeards, and this card becomes clutch. I don't know if you guys know what it does, but for 8 Dawn, you and your opponent trash, and you guys can pick. So your opponent picks, and I pick if I have more than 5 cards. So you have more than 5 cards, you have to trash your hand until you have 5 cards. So if the Whitebeard player has 15 cards, they have to trash 10 cards. And that's going to hurt the Whitebeard player to the point that you probably just won the game right there with just 1 card. And that's the reason I put this card here. It is a gimmick. It's mainly just for Whitebeard. That's because Whitebeard does, in my opinion, does pretty good against Sakazuki, but does very well against the yellow players. So I thought they were going to have a comeback here, and this is the reason I put this card in here just for Whitebeard, just because I think this card's much better in Isho, since Isho only removes 2, but it is a body, while this basically removes their whole hand, bringing them back to just a 5-cost hand. And if they're not ready for my turn after, then they lose the game. So very strong card, but I'm not even include the second effect. So the second effect is good against purple Luffy, red purple law, anything that brings out a lot of cards out. The second effect is you return all the 3 costs from both sides of the field to the bottom of the deck. So just imagine if you have 10 drop Kuzan out, you get to return all 8 costs or less on your opponent's side of the field, plus trash their hand if they have too many cards in hand. Such a very strong card. Again, I understand it's a very gimmicky card. It's a tech card just for Whitebeard. And because of that, I might just remove this. If your locals or wherever you're going is going to have a lot of Whitebeards, then you might just want to think about it. You might even bring them up to 2. I don't recommend it, but definitely you might think about it if you have a lot of Whitebeard players. Definitely try this card out. I think you're going to like it a lot. But the way I've been playing it, I might just remove it for now. If I do feel like if I do enter a big tournament where I feel like Whitebeard is going to be there, I will throw this back in. But as of now, I'm thinking I'm just going to remove it, and I'm going to sub in King Kong Gun. Did you notice I did not have King Kong Gun in the deck just because I took it out for this card? I feel like King Kong Gun, I did have it, and when I was practicing before these tournaments, I noticed that I never used King Kong Gun. King Kong Gun, I just focus on controlling the board and then ending the game with King Kong Gun sometimes. but most of the time not, just because how well the control game is. But sometimes just having that double attack threat with the Luffy established, it is very, very good. So that's the reason I might just throw the King Kong onto one, just because you're able to search it, you're able to recycle it with the Luffys, etc. So that's gonna be the first sub in this deck list. But definitely try this card out. I think you're gonna have a lot of fun with this card before you sub it out. And that is it, guys. That is my winning Rebecca deck list for OP05 so far. Usually, you guys know me, I don't put deck lists out without testing Treasure Cover Regionals, but unfortunately, I'm not in any of those because it is in the other coast, and I'm not able to go there to play One Piece tournaments. So I won't be able to test this deck out in a big 500 to 1,000 man tournaments like I like to do. So I do apologize for that, guys, but hopefully somebody out there will take this deck list and maybe even modify a little bit to your play style, and hopefully tell me how it does. Now, like as you guys see, the deck list, it is not perfected yet. I am taking out one card as what I told you, but there could be other modifications while the OP05 meta does continue to grow since we just started, right? So why do I think Rebecca's the... Oh, so I'm sorry. So that is the end of the deck list, guys. If you guys don't care about anything else, thanks for watching. Please comment below if there's anything else that you guys recommend that I should try in this deck list that could be good that I'm probably not thinking of. So definitely let me know. And then we'll go ahead and go towards matchups. So Rebecca in OP05, I believe she's definitely top tier. Definitely not. I'm not saying she is the best out of all of them, but she can hold her own with every deck in the OP05 meta right now. The ones I know that's in the meta is definitely Sakazuki. I believe Rebecca beats Sakazuki pretty easily. It's not like a stomp. Sakazuki could definitely make it depending who can control the board better. I just believe Rebecca controls the board much better than Sakazuki and has a hands to deal with the pokes and attacks more than Sakazuki. And this is why I believe Rebecca can beat Sakazuki, and I've beaten multiple Sakazukis, just not enough to tell you 100%. It's just that's how I see the board state so far. So Rebecca does well against Sakazuki, definitely beats Enel and Katakuri. You already know, same thing with the Sabo, Recycle, with Enel, same thing, 10 drop, and then Luffy as well for Enel. Does well against Purple Luffy, but I think Purple Luffy will be the toughest matchup because they do go wide. So if you don't have the answers right away, then it could get out of control against the Rebecca player. But you have the stage card with 7-drop Luffy, able to control. That's basically the way to do it. And then while you get there, you want to use your Bastardos and 3 swords. What else is meta right now? I feel like I'm missing one. I guess we can include Red Purple Luffy. Definitely this deck does very well against Red Purple Luffy just because they want to just go to their top end and you're able to pop all their top ends and then beat them when they're only at 3 life. And I think that's it. I do apologize if there's any other top meta decks that I am missing, but I think those are the ones I've been seeing. Oh, and Whitebeard, I apologize. And Whitebeard I already mentioned. Just play this card and you win. Kidding, but not kidding at the same time. Just Rebecca's able to control all the cards. They do play a lot of rush cards, but you're able to defend yourself, kill all their cards, and by the time they're at 0 life and no board, then you just slowly whittle down their hand. And then if you do have this card, then their hand doesn't become a problem, and then you win that turn, especially if you have Luffy out in the field. So yeah. So Rebecca does very well against all the matchups, and that's basically what I like to build. That's what I like to do when you go to regionals, that you're able to face every deck that you're facing, and hopefully come out on top. So I am very surprised that not a lot of people are picking OP05 Rebecca, but hopefully after this video we'll see some more Rebecca representation. If you guys have any questions or comments, definitely let me know. I will try to put out some OP05 Rebecca gameplay video, and then we'll take it from there. So anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching, and until next time.